What's up, Soul Family? Coming at you with another collective reading. This one is gonna be on. Oh my god, I dropped like half the deck. So it's gonna be on. We have Ram, which is a stubborn, aggressive person. So, that being said, if you're interested in a one on one reading, you can do so by directly messaging me or with the link in the bio or description. The first reading is $35 for up to 20 minutes, and you can ask whatever questions you want, or I can simply see what comes out. If it doesn't resonate, then I'll simply refund you. That being said, so we have April, we have Pin with new job or career, and then we have Club with someone will try to make you do something against your will. So maybe maybe it's about getting to a new job or a new position or something like that. Yeah, starting new. Literally the fool flipped out right as I said this. So I've had the experience in my last job where we were quite literally getting in trouble if we did not do things that were immoral from my perspective. They had us put stuff on people's accounts. And I used to work for AT&T, right? They would have us put stuff on people's accounts that they simply didn't need, and it would even be in circumstances where they couldn't even speak English and then either remove the stuff for themselves or even be aware of what's being put on their accounts. Like, I think somebody came in for an upgrade. It was like an old immigrant couple. They barely spoke any English. And they had me put, like, I think it was like insurance and then next up on their account, right? Which they had no need for. They had no desire for it. But because of the fact that, of course, they can't even be aware that it's on their account, they just, had me put it on them. So, long story short, I think that sometimes we are in work situations that can be predatory and that are kind of endorsing the energy of something that's not, something we want to be in. So maybe it's time to simply move forward or start to look for something different. Even if it's been a job that you've been in for a while, or maybe it's a job that you just got. I think the other card was April. Or maybe if, you're trying to get or meet a goal by a certain time. Maybe the goal you're trying to meet is like by that time. Then one way or another, maybe it's a sign to transition out of it to the best of your ability. In that same job, I also had the experience of dealing with somebody who was a little bit toxic. It was like it didn't matter how rational you tried to be. Like, the interactions that I had with them were really, really less than ideal. So sometimes you can try your best to be kind. You can try your best to be rational. You can try your best to communicate and be kind. But if somebody is just stubborn, not willing to hear it, not going to meet you halfway, then sometimes it's just not worth engaging with. And with the Four of Cups coming out, it makes me feel as if like this is a job that you're not content in. Like, I knew for a fact, like, I was not happy at like my last job. Like, the one of the people that was above me was kind of like an asshole, and just the job itself was very predatory. So it just was not something I was vibing with. So a lot of times we're sitting in places and situations that we're not content in, and we're just yes, it allows us to understand like what we do want, but then we also have to keep in mind that if we're not happy or enjoying somewhere, then we have all the capacity and all the power to simply move somewhere else and do something different. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles with new opportunities and the Knight of Swords. So maybe you are about to sign some new contract. Maybe you're about to seek out information for a new job or a new opportunity, or you're working towards something, or maybe there's going to be some kind of communication coming towards you about a new opportunity. I remember when I used to work at Starbucks, I got hired pretty much on the spot by like some of my regulars. They saw how I worked pretty much every day for like, I think it was like a year and some change. So they just, hey, do you want a job? So you never know like where an opportunity can come in from. Let's pull a couple more. And then we have the Page of Swords and the Nine of Cups. So you really have to worry sometimes about your own satisfaction, the things that you're going to enjoy, the things that's going to like make you happy. There's that, and then I also think like there's going to be some kind of like wish that's granted. Maybe it's just a matter of or desire or manifestation. Maybe it's just a matter of seeking it out and searching and being open to finding what it is. It's like just taking the time to look and research and find an opportunity that's aligned with what you're looking for. And the Page of Swords also sometimes both the Page and the Knight sometimes have the energy of you getting an offer, getting an opportunity, getting some kind of communication. I think pages where delivery had something to do with like people who used to deliver messages in some degree or some capacity. So both of those, both the knight and the page popping out could be that you're going to receive some kind of like offer or opportunity or some kind of letter or sign some kind of contract. They're coming out in twos today. Then we have the Sun and the King of Cups. So I think it's going to happen, or I wouldn't say soon, but I think whatever's going to happen is going to be like revealed. I think it's going to be something that like it's going to be presented. Okay, I think it's going to be something that's going to be presented in a way that's clear. It's not going to be something that has like any kind of like hang-ups. It's going to be something that's kind of like seen. Whenever I think of the Sun card, I think about things that are kind of like exposed out in the light. So I think it's going to be something like that you see it for what it is, and it's not a negative thing. I think it's something that's going to be beneficial in that sense. Like sometimes we have jobs and it's kind of like, a little bit deceptive in like what we're going to be doing or what we're interacting with. But there are times like where we are able to have clarity. We're able to operate out of like not having to deal with something that's not positive. And then with the King of Cups, I'd like to think that it's something that's also going to keep you like fulfilled and happy within like whatever situation that you're in. With the Five of Cups in the bottom of the deck, it makes me feel as if that you have to do your best not to allow like whatever past experiences that you've had and disappointments to cloud whatever this opportunity is. So if you've had bad management before, if you've been in shady experiences, if you've had less than ideal things happen, then not to allow that to be what's going to prevent you from moving forward. But that being said, I guess I will catch you in the next reading, and peace and blessings.